It's like we've been lied to that eventually we'll just have a neat house and beautiful carefree sex with our spouses.
That's a lie?
And donuts that won't make us fat.
Come on, is that really a lie?
Vacations where no one gets frustrated. That's what I thought was going to happen. I just thought everything would eventually click into a gear.
It's a good point.
I'm beginning to doubt that.
It's a good point that we are fed a certain line of what life is supposed to be, and then because it doesn't turn out that way, you feel you've been gypped. But the more I have found, the more you can find joy in the promise that everything that unfolds in your life is in the hands of a loving Father who's taking it all, molding it and shaping it for the good. Isn't that the promise?
Yeah.
That the Lord works everything for the good for those who love him. I without that promise, I wouldn't know what to do with the struggles and difficulties that life has shown itself to have in store for all of us.
Well, I think we're still under the impression that things aren't right when there's discomfort and pain and agony and tension in relationships. And that's true.
In one sense, that is true. But in another sense, what did we expect in a fallen world? In this world, you will have trouble, says Jesus. You will have trouble. Take heart. Take heart. I have overcome the world. Therein lies our hope and our promise. And there's even in the journey towards the fulfillment of that hope. It was just today's reading struck me in light of this, that it's not, there is a hope that we have that has not yet been fulfilled. For who hopes for that for which he already has, as Scripture says. So there is something out there we don't yet have. That is true. And yet this struck me very deeply this morning when I was just reading the daily readings in Mass. Jesus says, or the Scripture says, Jesus was filled with pity for the crowds. They had been with him for 3 days and they were hungry. And he said, I want to give them something to eat so they don't faint along the way. And whenever you see that, the word way or the way in Scripture, it's not just that these people who were with Jesus in a deserted place had to go home, walk 4 miles or whatever to get to their home. It's not just that. It is that. But the way in Scripture always refers to the journey towards our heavenly homeland. And the pity that the Lord has for us is in our pilgrimage journey towards our heavenly homeland. And he wants to feed us on the way. And I am so grateful for the little tastes of heavenly delight that this life affords, because the Lord, in his pity for me, in his love for me, in his mercy towards me, wants to grant me little desires of my heart, whether it's a song that brings me joy.
Make sure you're just behind the mic here.
It's a meal that brings me joy. It's a friendship. Just sitting this morning with you and catching up is a little joy. That's not so little. Those little things are often quite big, and they keep you going. And I love this line in the Mass. This is one of the prayers of the official Mass of the Catholic Church. Something like this. I'm paraphrasing, but it's from memory. Then we get needed solace. Needed, that's the word the Church uses in the Mass. Needed solace from the comforts of this world.
Oh, really?
In preparation for the joy to come in the next. It's a needed solace. We can't. We're not only created for the joys of the next world, we're created to learn how to rejoice rightly in the joys that the Lord, in his love for us, gives us along the way.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.